Hey, this is Salim from Tuner, the observability and testing layer for Voice AI. And today I will go over how to integrate Tuner with any custom Voice AI stack. So, by custom Voice AI stack, I mean if you are building your own orchestration layer for your voice agent. So, first of all, we need to create a new agent, and let's call it clinic agent, and the direction is inbound, and the provider, you will need to choose the custom API. Now create an agent, and I will do this later. So yeah, that's it from tuner side. Now let's go to the code and set up the integration. But first, I will be mainly following our documentation. So as you can see in our documentation, we have the API reference, and you can see the create a call public API. And the whole idea is, uh, after each call that is done by your agent, you need to trigger this API call, which will send the call information to tuner. So we will do our observability and monitoring on top of those calls. Uh, so this public API is built mainly around flexibility. So you will have some required fields, but also some optional fields. And depending on your use case, you can use different combination of fields. But in the current tutorial, I will be focusing on setting up the public API with the required fields, and also the most common core optional fields. So yeah, let's jump to the code. Okay, so I built a very simple clinic receptionist agent, uh, and the post tuner function is the function that is used to trigger the public API, our public API. Uh, Now I'll be focusing mainly on the payload of the API, so I'll be focusing on the fields of the core fields, and I will explain them one by one. So first we have the call ID, which is the unique ID for each call. And then the call type, it can be a phone or a web call, and the start and duration of the call. And you have the recording URL. So currently I am saving all these agent recordings in an S3 bucket, and I'm getting back the URL and sending it to tuner. Uh, we use the URL for some specific voice AI metrics that we do on the audio itself. And then we have the agent version, so you can compare, you can do some analytics on different versions in tuner. Uh, and we have the disconnection reason, the caller phone number, and the call cost. The call cost is a very simple function that I use uh, depending on my STT, LLM, TTS providers, and the duration of the call. I can determine roughly how much the call costed me, and the transcript with tool calls. Now, the transcript with tool calls is a very important field that I will explain now in details. So let's go back to the docs, and let's go to the transcript with tool calls. Okay, so as you can see, it's an array of objects, and I want you to think about each object as a turn or as a conversational node. So, for example, each conversational node can be a user turn, it can be an agent turn, it can be a node transition, it can be a tool calling, right? Uh, so this is the role attribute. So for each object or each conversational node, it has a role. So uh, and for each role, you can have different combination of fields. For example, in the user role, you need text fields, like what was the text that was said by the user. But for something like the node transition, you will need, for example, the node field. So you can select the to, the from, and the reason of the transition. Now I will go over now the code and explain to you how I build it and what are the different fields for each role. Okay, so now as you can see, we have uh, in the transcript with tool calls field, it takes a transcript array of object. And this transcript array of object, we build it using the transcript builder function. It's a function that we run after each conversational node or after each turn, and we append each turn into that transcript array. So let's go over them role by role. So first, the user role, we send the role as user, and the text, which is the text that the user said, and the start, end, and duration. The start, end, and duration fields are common across all the roles. And then we have the metadata. So we send the transcript confidence and the STT node time to first byte for the user role. Now, if you can see the agent role, we send the same start and duration. Also, we send the text, but the unique thing here is the metadata. We send different metadata that fits the agent term. And then for the node transition, we send the role as node transition and the node uh, field which explain the from to and the region of the transition, and we have our same start and duration field. And then for a tool call, it's divided to the agent function, which is the tool invocation, and the agent result. So the agent function, we have the role, the start and duration, right? And we have the tool. The tool field is unique for the tool calls field, where we have the name of the field, the name of the tool, and the request ID and the params. Now the agent result will have the same fields, but will have more fields in the tool object specifically. So the tool object now will have the result, right, and is error and error, and both of them, the agent function and the agent result, are connected together with the request ID. Uh, so yeah, this is it for the transcript with tool calls. And after appending all the fields into the transcript array of object, we will have the full conversation. Now, last but not least, we have the metadata. Okay, so the metadata can be like, first of all, the metadata here are the any extra information that you can send after you can send for each call that will give you deeper and richer analytics. For example, you can send the AI models where you can compare different versions based on the AI models, or you can go deeper and send some dynamic variables. For example, the personality. So, in the current use case, in my current agent, depending on some information of the caller, I will the agent will have different personality, right? And I want to send this personality metadata to tuner so we can have some evaluation checks. So we can check if the agent treated the caller with the right personality or not. Same for the custom prompt, right? So yeah, now this is for the payload, and these are the core fields. Now let's add the tuner API keys and make a test call to make sure that everything is working. Now we need the tuner API key, the tuner workspace ID, and the agent remote ID. So let's get back to tuner. Now we have the tuner agent ID and switch to workspace. We have the tuner API key and the workspace ID. And yeah, that's it. I will make a test call now, and let's see how that look like in Tuner. Okay, back to Tuner. So the integration is done, and now you can see we have the a general voice metrics for the call. Also, we have a per turn metrics. So for the customer turn, we have the STT, and for the agent, we have the information like latency, LLM, text to speech, and then here we have the tool call and no transition, right? Also interruption handling. So yeah, that's it. Now the next steps will be to actually configure tuner. By configured, I mean set up the agent, like set up tuner, so it can know uh, first the eval checks or the behavior analysis, right? And it can know what does success or failure means or look like for the agent. I will show you a quick example of a configured agent, so you can see how will that look like in production. Now here is the configured agent. So you can see we have the extracted fields, we have the evaluations, red flags, labels, also a behavior analysis on your agent. So some pass or fail analysis like hallucination, data capture accuracy, or also some scored analysis, right? And you can see in the call logs here. So the more calls you will have, then the more data and the more richer analytics you can see in the like the overview dashboard or the performance and behavior analysis, right? And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.